guys all opposed to terrorism? Yeah. Nobody likes terrorism, right? Yeah. Let's all get up and clap. No terrorism.
The fact is, that danger remains. While we put Al-Qaeda's core leadership on a path to defeat, the threat has evolved as Al-Qaeda affiliates and other extremists take root in different parts of the world. In Yemen, Somalia, Iraq, Mali, we have to keep working with partners to disrupt and disable those networks. In Syria, we'll support the opposition that rejects the agenda of terrorist networks. Here at home, we'll keep strengthening our defense and combat new threats like cyber attacks. And as we reform our defense budget, we will have to keep faith with our men and women in uniform and invest in the capabilities they need to succeed in future missions.
We gotta get them a drone battalion.
And by succeed in missions, I mean kill a lot of people.
We need to take them out before there even is a battlefield.
We have to remain vigilant. But I strongly believe our leadership and our security cannot depend on our outstanding military alone.
NSA.
Oh, God.
Commander-in-Chief, I have used force when needed to protect the American people. And I will never hesitate to do so as long as I hold this office.
Kill list.
But I will not send our troops into harm's way unless it is truly necessary, nor will I allow our sons and daughters to be mired in open-ended conflicts. We must fight the battles that need to be fought, not those that terrorists prefer from us.
I finally figured out the type of moron who has to videotape videotape the TV for clips on YouTube.
Actively and aggressively pursue terrorist networks.
They don't yank it.
Through more targeted efforts and by building the capacity of our foreign partners, America must move
It's called First to Markets to you.
footing.
This footage will be up before anyone else's.
That's why I've imposed true
I don't think
limits on the
Garrett's
use of
going to be
drones.
first to market.
For we will not be safer if people abroad
They'll be
believe we
first to
strike
market
within their
in the
countries
district.
without regard for the consequence. That's why, working with this Congress, I will reform our surveillance programs
call
because
sign there, Charlie.
the vital work of our intelligence community depends on public
Look how
confidence.
serious they
here
all
and
are.
abroad.
They mean
The
it.
privacy of ordinary people is not being violated.
Oh, you ain't talking about no privacy.
He keeps using the term confidence. The American people need confidence.
And
You know, confidence,
with the Afghan war
same.
ending,
Yep.
this needs to
You
be
need
the year Congress
confidence.
lifts
You
the
need to be
remaining
conned by
restrictions
the-
on
Anti-Biden.
planes transfers,
I can do that.
and
You
we
can build
close
that.
the prison at Guantanamo Bay.
Good idea.
Because
Oh,
we
won't it be awesome if that finally
Years since they've been saying, "Oh, good God."
First act as president, it's finally gonna happen. Yeah.
And setting an example for the rest of the world.
That's this Edward Snowden guy.
He moved on from that.
In a world of
We
complex
gotta go
relations,
get him
our leadership
as president. I'll go
depends
get
on
him.
all elements of our power, including strong and principled diplomacy. American diplomacy has rallied more than 50 countries to prevent nuclear materials from falling into the wrong hands, and allowed us to reduce our own reliance on Cold War stockpiles. American diplomacy, backed by the threat of force, is why Syria's chemical
I feel
weapons
like
are
there's
being
all this
eliminated.
terrorism that should have happened and it didn't happen. And you think
Thank you, Obama.
And we will continue to work with the international community to usher in the future the Syrian people deserve. A future free of dictatorship, terror, and fear.
Except
from anyone but the Western world.
yeah, except the
American
US
diplomacy
Gov.
has supported Israelis and Palestinians as they engage in the difficult but necessary talks to end the conflict there, to achieve dignity and an independent state for Palestinians, and lasting peace and security for the state of Israel.
Isn't that kind of
And to build more
controversial?
secure walls to block them in
Will always
and treat
be
them
at
like
their
imprisoned
side.
people.
Have presidents mentioned a independent state of Palestine and state of union justice before?
I don't think so, but it does seem, I don't know, is that controversial that he did that? Almost everyone's saying
I can imagine Netanyahu likes
And
that.
it is American diplomacy, backed by pressure,
They can have their own state behind border walls.
The progress of Iran's nuclear program and holds back parts of that program for the very first time in a decade. As we gather here tonight, Iran has begun to eliminate its stockpile of higher levels of enriched uranium. It's not installing advanced centrifuges. Unprecedented inspections help the world verify every day that Iran is not building a bomb. And with our allies and partners, we're engaged in negotiations to see if we can peacefully achieve a goal we all share, preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Keep it real, Iran. And
Booster again.
yeah.
See? When did she not stand up?
Iran
Have a
being
seat.
cool.
These negotiations will be difficult. They may not succeed. We are clear-eyed about Iran's support for terrorist organizations like Hezbollah, which threatens our allies. And we're clear about the mistrust between our nations. Mistrust that cannot be wished away.
I think a lot of that
But these
mistrust is
negotiations
earned
don't
by
rely
the
on
U.S.
trust. Any long-term deal we agree to must be based on verifiable action that convinces us and the international community that Iran is not building a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, man.
If John F.
Stop.
Kennedy and Ronald Reagan could negotiate with the Soviet Union, then surely a strong and confident America can negotiate with less powerful adversaries today.
Terrorism is the new nuclear weapon, and it doesn't end society.
The sanctions that we put in place help make this opportunity possible. But let me be clear. If this Congress sends me a new sanctions bill now that threatens to derail these talks, I will veto it.
Just like Hassan on weed.
For the sake of our national security, we must give diplomacy a chance to succeed. If Iran's leaders do not seize this opportunity, then I will be the first to call for more sanctions and stand ready to exercise all options to make sure Iran does not build a nuclear weapon. But if Iran's leaders do seize the chance, and we'll know soon enough, then Iran could take an important step to rejoin the community of nations, and we will have resolved one of the leading security challenges of our time without the risks of war. And finally, let's remember that our leadership is defined not just by
I think he's gonna pull out
our
the
defense
Jason.
against threats, but by the enormous opportunities to do good and promote
It's been
understanding
like an
around
hour
the
and
world.
20
He's
minutes.
gonna pass it around.
Bomber's gonna hand it to him.
To expand new markets, free people.
Yeah, he'll pull it out of his breast
And
pocket and hand it to him.
Daryl doesn't know what he's missing.
is better positioned to take advantage of those opportunities
No
than
more
America.
listen.
Our alliance with Europe remains the strongest the world has ever known. From Tunisia
This is the
to
enhanced
Burma,
live
we're
stream.
supporting
It looks
those
so
who are
nice
willing
and
to
crisp
do
and
the hard
clear.
work of building
Way
democracy.
better than Cheshire TV's live stream.
In Ukraine, we stand for the principle that all people have the right to express themselves freely and peacefully.